Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Brandon, and today I've got a review slash examination of Cannibal Corpse's Red Before Black. I got the largest pre-order bundle from Indie Merch Store. The release date was November 3rd. I didn't get this box until yesterday, November 10th, so a week late, but so be it. So, I'll show off the contents of this box first. This is the Cannibal Corpse Red Before Black box set. Opens up and reveals the contents inside. First of all, we have the 2-disc digipack with the album Red Before Black, and then the bonus disc Blood Covered, featuring cover songs that Cannibal Corpse has previously recorded. They weren't recorded specifically for this release. I'll get into that later. It also came with the cassette version, Blood Red, pro-printed cassette tape. I'm a sucker for, an album or band that I really like. I love getting all three formats, CD, tape, vinyl. I don't really care as far as what sounds better. I'm just collector scum, so that's what it boils down to. Also came with Blood Covered on vinyl, which I believe you were only able to get through this box set, so that was kind of the main selling point for this box set, I suppose. It's on this white with like a pinkish tint to it. Kind of wish that the colorways were a little bit stronger, a little bit more defined, because to the naked eye it just kind of looks like white or off-white. But, that's nitpicking. I really don't care that much. And as far as what's on here, you have Sacrifice, previously released with the live Cannibalism album in Europe, and then Confessions, which is by Possessed, and then Sacrifice, of course, is by Sacrifice. Those two also appeared on a 7-inch, Sacrifice Confessions, been on my want list for a long time. And then also No Remorse by Metallica, of course. That was previously released on the Worm Infested EP. And then on side B, you have another one from the Worm Infested EP, Demon's Night by Accept. And then one I hadn't heard before, I didn't even know that they did it, Bethany Home, A Place to Die, by The Accused. That came out on the 15-year Killing Spree box set, but I think those were just CDs. So the next three, I believe, for the first time are on vinyl. Bethany Home by The Accused, Endless Pain by Creator, and Behind Bars by Razor. Those three songs were released on the CD box set, 15-year Killing Spree. So for the first time on vinyl. And those are all from covers from 1999, 1998, 2002. So they're older cover songs. They have been released before. They're not exclusive to this release, but all together on vinyl here for the first time. So that was a nice little bonus to have. And we have a Cannibal Corpse wristband. I don't really wear these, so I'm just going to keep it in the package here as a part of this collector's box. There's also little guitar picks. They're pretty flimsy, really cheaply made. Not going to use these either. The Red Before Black artwork, if you can see it on there, is on there. Very, I don't think it was a great idea to use that for a guitar pick, because shrunk down so slow, that image, that small, that image really doesn't really do much. They're all the same, Cannibal Corpse, and then there's a red one as well. So again, nothing really essential, just little collector's goodies. Came with a back patch here, this Cannibal Corpse saw blade logo they've been using a lot. Again, I probably won't use this for anything, it'll just stay in the box. This I'm debating on putting up just because it's massive. This poster of the cover art for Red Before Black. I mean, I'm not even going to begin to get all that in there for you, but you get the idea. As far as the artwork goes for this album, it was done by Vince Locke, who's done the artwork for every single Cannibal Corpse album. And I know some people aren't really thrilled with the artwork. Myself, I think it's cool. I think it fits the Red Before Black theme. I listened to an interview with their drummer, Paul Mazurkowitz. He's the one who came up with the title Red Before Black. He said it came to him in a dream, kind of like a slasher type thing where, you know, you just imagine someone hacking at you with a knife and all you see is just blood splattering everywhere and you see all the red before you die and everything goes to black. So, Red Before Black. Once I heard that explanation, it kind of struck, you know, it's a little bit different, but it also fits, and it is Cannibal Corpse, so as far as the whole slashing vibe and theme goes, it works. Not my favorite artwork. I do think it's cool how this guy here, he has the teeth on a bracelet, and there's tons of blood, so, you know, you think of Cannibal Corpse, you think blood. This is the certificate of authenticity, numbered out of 1,500. No one cares what number I got. And then it's two-sided. You have a band photo on the back here. That's everything that came in the box itself. And if you noticed, it didn't come with the Red Before Black album on vinyl, which I thought was strange. If you're going to do a box set for Red Before Black, you should probably include that album on vinyl. Fortunately, the pre-order bundle that I got, it came with two versions of this record. This is the Gunmetal Gray variant, limited to 200 copies. It's basically just a gray marbled vinyl. Very simplistic center labels, but you don't need to be really extravagant if you're Cannibal Corpse. Everyone knows what Cannibal Corpse is all about at this point. They don't need to whip out the bells and whistles, and then comes with an insert with all the lyrics, credits, sponsors, all of that. This copy, because of its limitation, I will just keep in the box because there is room in the box set for an additional record or two. So I'm just going to keep this variant in the shrink wrap, in the box, keep it nice and mint. I'm not going to play it. That's, again, the collector scum in me. But to each his own. And then this is my playing copy on this split translucent red and clear, which I think is fucking awesome. I love clear vinyl. Some people say that it doesn't sound great. I really don't want to get into an argument about, you know, what sounds the best, what sounds like shit. I'm not an audiophile. If you think you are, great, good for you. Doesn't matter to me whatsoever. I'm just glad to finally have this album. It's great. It's going to be on my year-end list. If you're interested in that, stay tuned. It'll be late December, maybe even early January if I decide to push it back a little bit. It's going to be fun. And so let's talk about the album a little bit. This is, I believe, the 14th studio album from Cannibal Corpse, which is insane. Legendary death metal band. I don't need to tell you that. They are a model of consistency. When you buy a Cannibal Corpse record, you know that you're going to be getting a Cannibal Corpse record. Plain and simple. They have never changed their formula. They've stuck to what works. I have the utmost respect for that. And that, to me, is what makes them one of my favorite bands. I've never been disappointed by a Cannibal Corpse album. I don't think I ever will be at this point. Because if they're 14 albums in and they're still releasing quality material like this, I'm not worried about it. This album was produced by Eric Rutan of Hate Eternal. He's produced a bunch of their albums, Kill, Evisceration, Plague, Torture. They went to a different producer for their last album, A Skeletal Domain. Returned to Eric Rutan for this album. and everything to me sounds top notch. Again, I'm not an engineer, I'm not in the know, but all the levels seem spot on. Paul Mazurkowicz's drumming performance on this is outstanding. He's kind of, to me, a meat and potatoes drummer. Nothing really flashy. He's not super technical, but his blast beats, his fills, everything really when it comes to being the backbone of the rhythm section of Cannibal Corpse, spot on. Corpse Grinder. He sounds, to me, just as good as he did on Vile, which came out in 1996. So let's see, quick math here. Like 17 years later, still sounds like an absolute tank of a human being. His vocal delivery, his vocal patterns, everything is just executed flawlessly. And musicianship wise, we all know Alex Webster, one of the greatest bass players in death metal. Pat O'Brien and Rob Barrett, no slouches themselves. This album, it doesn't get too technical. You're not going to find a song like Frantic Disembowelment, for example, but it's heavy, it's fast, it's death metal to a T. If there was a blueprint for writing a solid death metal album, Cannibal Corpse would be responsible for that blueprint. A cool thing about Cannibal Corpse is they divide the writing up amongst their members. Even Paul Mazurkowicz helped write one of the songs on this album. Between Alex Webster, Rob Barrett, and Paul Mazurkowicz, they handle all of the lyrical duties. And then each band member between Pat O'Brien, Rob Barrett, and Alex Webster, they each contributed 4 songs each to this album. Rob Barrett wrote Code of the Slashers, Corpus Delecti, In the Midst of Ruin, and Destroyed Without a Trace. I think Rob's songs, especially Code of the Slashers, that's my favorite track on this album. Rob has the strongest songs on this album. I can say that with a firm belief. Alex Webster wrote Only One Will Die, Firestorm Vengeance, Scavenger Consuming Death. I'm trying to remember all this here, pardon me. And the final track, Hideous Ichor. Very, very strong songs from Alex Webster on this. And then Pat O'Brien, Red Before Black, Remaimed, Shedding My Human Skin, and Heads Shoveled Off. Heads Shoveled Off, one of my favorite tracks on this. I don't want to say Pat O'Brien's songs are weak on this album, because they're not by any means. I think the title track, Red Before Black, is fucking phenomenal. But out of the 3, I think I would rank his songs in the bottom tier. But again, by no means is that indicative of how his songs sound, because they are amazing. Lyrically, this album is brutal as ever. Again, Code of the Slashers, my favorite track on this. It's heavy, it's violent, just an amazing all-around track. I hope it's going to be a mainstay of their live sets to come. By the way, this shirt also came with that pre-order bundle. Just a cool design. I am obsessed with collecting Cannibal Corpse t-shirts, even ones with the new logo. I don't care. I do prefer the old logo, but it's all good. It's all Cannibal Corpse. So, that's it as far as my little review of Red Before Black goes. You saw the contents of this box. You saw what else came with the pre-order bundle that I got. Thanks for tuning in. Let me know what you think about the album. I'm a diehard, so I love it. As always, thank you for tuning in, watching my videos, liking, and continuing to subscribe. I appreciate it very much. So until the next time, take care.